Hello, everyone. Welcome to chapter 161 of The Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind. This one titled, I Will Not Lose Hope. Hopefully. I don't know, I just found it to be very funny. A few things you may be. I'm not sick, as much as I know. As far as I know, I'm not sick, so that was a rogue cough. You may be hearing a buzzing sound in the background, like there's a fan, and because there is one. Last week I turned it off when I was recording, and by the end of the recording, I was almost having a heat stroke. I don't know. I don't have a very good relationship with heat, and this year has been the hottest we've had. Global warming is real. I am not dealing with it well. Fucking hell. So yeah, sadly, I just hope that through processing, I might be able to dampen the sound a little bit. I might have to do a little bit more to this audio than I would any other episode of The Last Thoughts, but hopefully it is not that noticeable. I mean, it is a consistent rhythm, so you might get used to it. There's like more hum in the background. Remember good old days when I used to record at like 2 a.m. in the winter, and semis used to just run down the street, and every once in a while you would hear them in the podcast. If you don't remember that, you are not a very long listener. I mean, long time listener. You might be very long. I don't know. Well, my drink today is some Coke Zero. And lukewarm Coke Zero, because it was on my desk and I didn't feel like going to the fridge and get the soda water that I have had in there. Or make some instant drink. Anyways, why did I call this one I Will Not Lose Hope, hopefully? Because July has ended. I'm recording this on August 1st. You'll be hearing this on August 2nd on 8 p.m. I'm recording this at around 6 a.m. on August 1st after a night of sleeplessness. I didn't sleep. I pulled an all-nighter that wasn't supposed to be an all-nighter, so I'm a little bit delirious. But the reason I wanted to do this right now is August 1st, start of a new month, after one of the worst ones, which was July. July for me was perhaps one of the downest I've felt since the start of the depression, which started in January. And I think it showed. The last 4 episodes were very much they showed my mental state, and it was not good. Last week particularly was harrowing to me. I genuinely, listening back to it, which I did a little bit, to apply the mouth, the click noises and effects and all of that, it made me feel bad. I don't think I want to be remembered by that, which is funny because that one is titled Remember Me. But yeah, it wasn't good. I wasn't in a good place. I am not in a good place right now. I am manic. I am hyper. I am feeling the inevitable march of time, and it is fucking me up. I am feeling old. I'm feeling unmotivated. I'm feeling like there is a lot of stuff I need to do, and yet I don't have time to do them. And because I haven't slept, and I don't know if I will sleep after I'm done recording this, I don't know if today is going to be any use for me. I mean, I don't have plans for later in the day, but because I haven't slept, so if I don't sleep at all today, tomorrow is also going to be fucked. But if I do sleep, today is going to be ruined probably, because lots of small things that need to come together, For example, we don't have a shower right now because we've taken the appliances, the faucets and stuff like that, to be recoated So for the next couple of days, we don't have a shower, which means we have to go to the neighbor's house to take a shower, which is very anxiety inducing for a person like me. But anyways, so in general, I wanted to do this right now because I am in that mindset of fuck July. It was not a good month. It was very hot. It had some of my worst moments. I had more fights there. I saw more fights. Everyone around me is feeling down. They're gonna feel down in August as well. So I don't know why I do feel so cheery at this moment. I don't. I'm just a good actor. I'm not. I am manic. I am having a manic episode. So right now, I don't want to lose hope because here's the thing. Okay, I need to do a little bit of a backstory here. I've talked about it before many times. It's always something that I go back to, both in my writing, in my channels, and my speaking in the podcast, and it's the year 2019. In 2019, I've had one of the worst depression episodes I think I've ever had in my recent memory. It was the one time in my life that I did give up. I know that sounds a little bit too dramatic, but it's true. I did give up. I didn't do anything. I would just wake up, and this goes on for like a few months. I would wake up, usually even forget to eat, drink some sugary drinks, whether it was syrup and water or soda, and waste the day away rewatching old nostalgia critic videos. That's how far we're talking about. So that was it. That was my day. And I would sleep. I lost quite a bit of weight then, which a lot of my friends afterwards would congratulate me, like, oh, you've trimmed down, you've lost weight. I'm like, oh, depression did that. The way I lost weight is not healthy. Nobody should lose weight the way I did because it's not healthy. Several of my stomach issues actually started back then because of that lifestyle. Most of them I'm still dealing with. To be honest, my eating habits haven't improved since 2019. I still am very reliant on sugary drinks and very reliant on fast food and shit like that. And I am getting, I think, fatter. So that's another thing. That's for another day. I'm not here to talk about my body issues right now. Maybe another day. Maybe next week. Who knows? But right now, the reason I keep that as like my point of reference is because I did give up then, and it did not solve anything. It just made things worse, and it's something that I know the inherent issues of, I don't want to give up because when I did, it felt like death. Like if I were a mythical creature, it would be like, oh, he just stopped moving and he turned to stone from lack of movement. And I know this cycle of giving up is very easy for me. That's why in the whole month of July, I kept talking about wanting to do stuff and then not doing them. I just gave up on them. And lack of motivation, depression, all of that combined together just fucked me up. I didn't do anything in July that was planned or I wanted to. I went on vacation and all I did was sleeping. So I know the cycle. I know the cycle of lack of motivation, the lack of doing something, the lack of stuff would make me a very easy target for it, I will keep doing that. I will give up much easier than you would have imagined. And I did talk about the importance of keeping on, but this time I want to talk about something else, something that actually might stop me from giving up. I don't want to go back to 2019. I don't want to go back to, because then I'm going to lose so much more. I'm going to lose so many things just because I can't deal with them anymore. The truth is, in reality, I am a very reclusive and incredibly um, closed off person. Now, for the past couple of years, more than a couple of years, past 6, 7 years, I've tried to not be that. I've tried to open up more. I've tried to be more considerate. I tried to be less selfish. But those are active things. I need to be actively involved in them. I need to actively pay attention to what other people are feeling and try to help them. Because if it was up to me, I would be so socially blind that I wouldn't even notice people saying hi to me unless they tap me on the shoulder. This isn't a joke. This actually happened a lot in high school. That's my normal state. So I don't want that because I hate loneliness that it brings. So I've tried to be more open. I've tried to keep my friends with me, you know? But that's an active thing. And if I give up, I will lose them. All of the things I talked about in Remember Me, the last week's episode, which I don't really recommend you go and listen to unless you want to hear a lot of self-pity and genuinely me going through a very bad emotional arc. But all of the things I talked about in that will become a reality if I give up. I will be forgotten. I will be gone. And I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. So, for a second I thought I didn't hit record. That would have been awful. But yeah, so I don't want to give up. And that's what I keep recommending my friends and other people who I see going through that, Things are tough. As I said, a lot of my friends are going through a myriad of different downs, for different reasons. Lots of different triggers creating a myriad of bad moods. My advice to all of them always is don't give up, because giving up will make all of the bad things, all of the worst case scenarios come true. At least it did for me. I have to be honest. It's not like I can't generalize like that, but at least it did it for me. And what is my counter opinion? Just do something tangible, Draw a picture, make a cardboard model, make a video, write a short story, something that at the end of the day you can look at it and say, oh, I've created something. It's not good. It probably won't be good, because depression, unlike what movies tell you, depression is not a good motivator to writing groundbreaking story. The pressure and all of that, it's not worth it. But doing something that at the end of the day you can look at and say, I did that, will make it real, will make doing something real. For me, that is probably, I'm trying to make a video. I'm trying to make the video I was trying to make last year. I'm gonna finish Written and Start the Fire Part 2, write the Dracula episode, probably make the swords. Need to do a few videos for my the deal I made to make my movie, and do a bunch of smaller things like writing other stuff and doing all of that. But in July, if I were to point at one thing that I did that had a tangible result, it's cleaning my room. It's been something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I did it. I reorganized some of the drawers. I cleaned off a lot of junk and stuff, and the end result is actually good. I can look around and I don't feel cramped and like the room is actively fighting me. It is still a mess. Like, it didn't take me long to create a mess again, but that's life. You just create a mess and then you clean it up. But the act of organizing my room to that extent really did something. I am feeling marginally better. The way I came out of the 2019 depression, sort of, it didn't really help at that point, but it did help going forward, was a short story I wrote called Triumph, Trumpets of Glory. Why did I say triumph? I mean, it sounds like trumpet. Trumpets of Glory, which is a line from the musical Man of La Mancha. Oh, the trumpets of glory now call me to ride. Yes, the trumpets are calling to me. And wherever I ride, ever staunch at my side, my squire and my lady shall be. I am my Don Quixote. I fucking love that musical so much. And Trumpets of Glory was all of the intrusive negative thoughts that I've had about myself distilled to the most basic mean-spirited ways and put down on the paper. It's not good. Reading it back, it makes my skin crawl, which I know came out of a bad place. I wasn't as good of a writer back then as I am now, especially in English. So it is cringy. There is no other word for it. It's cringe. But at the end of writing that, when I put the end there, and I try to be hopeful at the end of that too, by the way, but I was dealing with a lot of things. I looked at it and realized, oh, I did something. That was the catalyst, I think. That was the point where I did something and then said, okay, now I can do other things, It took a lot from me to go back from giving up. And because when you give up, one of the things you give up in are your friendships, I had to do a lot of it alone. I'm not gonna say I did it alone because it's completely untrue. A lot of friends did help massively for me to keep on going, and I will always be in awe and thankful to them. I will not forget them and what they did for me. Seriously, it's no matter what happens, they have a place in my heart and in my memories. But I had to get out of it alone. And here's the thing, I didn't need to. I know people say, oh, you have to do it alone. And you do. Sometimes, some of it you have to do alone, but not all of it. We are not alone. Our brains do this great trick when we're depressed that tell us we are alone. Tell us that no matter what happens, nobody cares about us and nobody will care about us, but nobody can help us. And, it's true. Nobody can help you but yourself. I do agree with the overall message of that idiom, but you are not alone. You don't have to be alone. Just because you have to face it alone, I'm saying not because you have to fix it alone, doesn't mean you have to face it alone. I did fix it alone, but I didn't need to face it alone. And the fact that I did, that I refused all of the hands that were offering help, is the reason I gave up. Right now I don't want to. I will not lose hope, hopefully. Because I once did, and in my own personal fable, in my own personal world, never again. Never fucking again. See you all next week.